everyone. Welcome to this session. At the end of the session, you will be able to know how to set up the cluster, what are the cluster specifications, then how to set up the clusters and installation process. So what is Hadoop cluster? So we are using an extraordinary computational systems. So mainly for designed to store, optimize, and analyze the huge volume of data, that is the petabytes of data with astonishing agility. So the Hadoop cluster is a special type of computing clusters. So mainly useful are designed for big data analytics. So to store the huge volume of data as well as manage the same huge volume of data. It is a collection of commodity hardware interconnected with each other and working together as a single unit. So what is the commodity hardware? Suppose I'm connecting my laptop systems to in the Hadoop cluster. Okay, so my system is having, so maybe the less RAM capacity, that is 32 GB RAM or 64 GB RAM. Okay, so that's whatever our users are using. Our system is connected to the clusters together, it's working. So that we can say Hadoop clusters. So we already discussed the Hadoop architecture. We have the masters and slaves. So it basically has a masters and numerous number of slaves. So master assign the task to slaves and guides to slave to perform the particular task. So what is the advantage of Hadoop cluster? It is a scalable, cost-effective, flexible, fast, and resilient should failure. So look this diagram. Okay, so our commodity hardware. So for example, this is one slave node. Okay, so this is commodity hardware. So similarly, it's connected for commodity hardware in the single rack. So another rack, another rack. Why? Because it's replicating one copy of data into other two systems. There is a 3 systems having the same copy. So as I discussed in the previous class. So we are going to see again one example. So how the Facebook Hadoop cluster is working. So a few important facts about the Facebook Hadoop clusters. So they started in the project in 2004, so because users of Hadoop clusters. So they given the name for that is the beefiest Hadoop clusters. They are using more than 4,000 machines. So it's capable of only gigabytes. So that's I said already the commodity hardware joined together. That's the 4,000 machines working together to create the one Hadoop clusters. So we know that more number of millions of users in the Facebook active users, for example, 2.3 billions of active users in the Facebook. To manage that set of users, definitely we need to manage the storage as well as the process the activities with the help of Hadoop clusters with up commodity hardware instead of spending the huge volume of the service. To manage such a huge network, Facebook uses the distributed storage frameworks. So the million of developer writing the map produce program in this multiple languages. So uses SQLs also to improve the process of search, log processing, recommendation systems starting from the data warehousing to video and image analysis. So it's updated all things in the clusters. Nowadays is growing. So it's increasing the number of cluster owners and update that process. So how the cluster architectures consist of main 2 components in the current technique, that is the HDFS map reduce and YARN is for the resource managers. So you can see this diagram, you can understand name node, data nodes as I discussed in the previous class. And similarly, the one another thing is the yarn, that is for resource handling the resource management process. So how to set up the clusters? So what are the techniques is required for that? So we are going to use CentOS, the operating system, Java, Hadoop, and SSH. So first we are going to set up the multi-node cluster. So we need two machines, that is the master and slave. So I'm just checking the two commodity hardware of the two systems. One is master IP, another one is slave IP. So check the IP address correspondingly. So I shown in this two IP address, one for master and slave. So once you are doing this, how we can do the setup process, first check the IP address of the all machines with the help of IP config command. So then follow the second step, disable all the firewall restrictions. So if you are the command of in this Unix systems, that is sudo check config IP tables off. So once if you off this services, the firewall, then we will move on to the next step. So what is the step 3? So you have to host the file to add a masters as well as data mode with the respective IP address. So for that, what is the command we are using? Sudo and nano. So what is the specific that host file how to add it. So step 4, you can restart the SSHD service. So you can use the command service SSHD restart. So once done this step, you can create the SSH. Okay, key in the name node. So how to set the key gen with the help of SSH hyphen key gen -T RSA minus capital T. So copy the generated SSH key to master node authenticate key purpose. So you can use copy command with the help of cat and $home /-ssh/id underscore rsa dot publish and set in the whole SSH authorized key. Copy the master node SSH key to again the slave authorized key. I already said the checksums we have to do before the storing as well as processing the data. So for this, we are initializing the step verifications. So SSH copy ID and the home directory, you can set this SSH ID rsa.publicate and what is the slave node respectively. So obviously we need to work on more on this Java packages. So download the Java 8 package and save the file in your home directory. So extract the Java tar files on all the nodes. So you can extract with the help of tar. So the corresponding the tar.zip, that's a zip file, you can extract it. So once done this step, you can download the Hadoop, the versions 2.73 package on all the nodes. So I given the respective command for wget and given the host IDs where you can get the packages. So you can extract again the tar files. So for all the nodes, so tar, the corresponding the extension of Hadoop 2.7.3, the versions and tar.gs. So now add the Hadoop and Java path in the corresponding bash file on all the nodes. So once done that, you can do with the command sudo get-it.bashrc. So to save the bash file and close it. So you can use the command source.basarh. So this will ensure that how the Java and Hadoops are properly installed your systems and how you can access to the terminal to execute. So you can use check the Java version command, similarly Hadoop version command. If it is giving the proper Java version and Hadoop versions properly, then you will set up the Hadoop environment. So now create the master file. So how to create it? Sudo get it masters. Similarly, you can save that files in the master, whatever the slave files in the master machine. Sudo get it and what is the corresponding slave's path. And similarly, edit the slave files, you can use the edit command. So once done this step, similarly, you can follow in the masters with the help of sudo command. Again, you can edit HDFS ice.hm XML file on slave machines. So to follow the corresponding command, both the masters and slaves. So once done this step, you can edit the yarn for resource management handling. So edit yarn site.xml on the both master and slave machines. So now format the name node. So only in the master nodes. So Hadoop, you can set the name node, the corresponding format. Similarly, start all the daemons, that is the name tracker, job tracker. So command xbean start all as such. So once you've done, so all the daemons are running on the both the masters and slaves machines. So you can check it by JPS command. So check this. This is the node managers, that is the master node, name node. So that is the master daemons for to process the master's nodes. Similarly, resource managers, that is the yarn is handling all the resources process. So you can check by the command JPS, and secondary name node, that is for backup process, and data node for handling that sub-processing, that's a slave node. So actual storage of data is stored in this. So once you've done the setup, so you create the proper Hadoop environment. So similarly, you can set the Hadoop clusters and installations in the VM workstations also. So download the VM workstations and install it in your host machine. So browse the machines and select the virtual machine back the sent OS is existing in your host system, and accept all the terms and conditions, whatever the following in the virtual Linux operating systems. So follow the same procedure set up in the slave systems also. Once done all the things, then you can maybe that load up the proper system environment. So again, start your masters and slaves together. So you can open the terminals and check the IP address of the machines. Okay, so you can check it. It's showing that master, what is the IP address, slave. So two slave is created. So one is 128 IP address, another one is 129. So you can check by that master IP address and slave IP address corresponding on the machines. So now master and slave start. So now you can start correspondingly demands to localhost check the HDFS web users interface. So we can start with the help of the terminal. So with the command has been folder. So I given the path as user lib the version of Hadoop/sb. So once the terminal is opened, you can start all .sh command in this daemons. So now it's open, web interface is open. So now you can communicate with master and slave interface. So you can try this demo on your system. So it's very interesting how the masters and slave is working. So what is the main the summary of the sessions? Today you learned how to set up the clusters in the Ubuntu as well as VM workstations. So how to specify the master and slave specifications? What are the steps you are followed for to install the process? So today's question is, what is Hadoop clusters? A group of computers that work together to store and process the data. Yes. So how does the Hadoop ensure data reliability in HDFS? By replicating or compressing or encryptions or distributing. So now check the answer. So we are replicating data blocks to multiple nodes in the clusters. So once any system is failed, so we get it from the other data nodes because we have the replica copies from the other node. Thank you.